I refer to Robert as my gramps. It's because he was married to my grandmother for as long as I could remember. My dad left when I was 5, and Gramps, he was just the father figure that Mary and I never really had. We had to revisit what we were to each other once he married my sister. That's a different kind of person. And the reality set in that I lost him.
When The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was announced, Mary being married to her step-grandfather was the only thing that people could talk about.
I am still not over the fact that she married basically her grandpa.
I don't care if he's her grandfather by blood or marriage. The point is, this is a man that used to sleep with her grandmother.
But in my reporting, I discovered there was much more to the story.
I'm a fiend for the franchises of Real Housewives, honestly. And they have pissed me off many a years, probably decades now, at least a decade. And one of the people that I've disliked the most has been Miss Mary Cosby. And I'll tell you why. One, she goes on this all-white cast. So, of course, she's going to be a representation of black people, period. And that's just the way it is. I'm not saying she has to carry that on her shoulders, but being a black person, people are going to see her on there and see that she is a black woman, so she's representing a black woman. And she goes on there, one, as a black woman, and then as a pastor to a church. Religion is sacred to many, many, many people. But from my aspect, it's sacred to me. And I took offense to her, the way that she's so mean-spirited. She tries to think of the most hurtful things to say. She's so dismissive, so non-empathetic. She throws these little jabs to be funny. People just love her for that. I've never thought she was funny. Strange? Yes. Deranged? Yes. Funny? Nah.
If my grandmother saw me today, she would be my #1 cheerleader. She would say, "Mary, keep up the good work." I know that's what she'd say.
Straight weird. It seems under Mama, everything was really like a normal Baptist church that I'm used to. My grandfather was the pastor of our church. It was a pretty good size church, not a mega church by any means, but back when my grandfather was pastoring, one, he founded the church, and well, anyway, let's just say it's in my blood. It's in my blood. And her church seemed like a very normal church when Mama or Mother was the head of the church. And from what they're saying now, most of the congregation does not agree with Mama about being so proud of her as the church is today. One of the guys that I feel the most sorry for in all of this is the father of the father of that girl that she exited this life by means of a car accident. She wasn't wearing her seatbelt. She got ejected out of the sunroof top and apparently had fallen into what Mary said is a valley. And Mary recalled this story in a very lighthearted way to on screen on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to one of the other cast members and her 2 kids, as if, she was telling a story that came out of, a bedside novel for kids, like. And her last suggestion to the children was, wear your seatbelt. So I feel most sorry for that girl's father. He's on here, and he is very adamant that Mary's time is coming soon. And not by anything that he may do, but as he puts it, you sow what you reap. You reap what you sow. You can tell he's very still hurt. And you can tell that he despises Mary. I can see that. I think he has reason to, but yeah. Content creators were all over this story talking about it, and under my first post about this, some people are saying this isn't really offering a lot of stuff that they had seen this stuff, heard this before, whatever. Some fans of Mary's, or even if they're not, I mean, they can be impartial and still say the same thing. But there are some people that have not heard of these things, because some things I've not heard of. I didn't know, well, I certainly didn't hear it from the man's mouth that he had an affair with Mary. I heard the rumors, but I didn't hear from the horse's mouth. On here I did. So TLC is giving it up like, yeah, these internet detectives and everything. Oh yeah, they set it off. They set it off, and they got a lot of them in here that are giving commentary and everything on it. And rightfully so, because this probably wouldn't be a documentary, honestly, without that. Because I'm telling you, these internet detectives, they raw out here in these streets. I'm telling you, they something serious. You hear me? This is Mama's history. Indianapolis, Indiana, 1950s.
My name is Dorothy Shannon. I'm 95 years old. I was a member of the Temple Church for 76 years.
Calls for her to stay in the West. She was an Indiana-born minister who set out on foot to Salt Lake City in 1961.
Indiana-born minister that set out on foot to Utah with her children because God told her to go there and minister. By bus, hitchhiked, and walked to Salt Lake City, Utah. That was 1960, so. Somebody asked Mama before she was coming on the trip, why are you going out there to Salt Lake City? There's nothing out there but white folks and salt. They don't know nothing about no Pentecostal. And that's another thing. You know, Utah, they were famous for Mormonism. So, you know, I give a lot of respect to this lady. And she went on and built a church, and she had a mixed following. I mean, not following, because that sounds more like the cultist today, allegedly. But she had a mixed congregation. And, yeah, I would be upset along with these other people if I was raised in a church that I came to love. Everybody is family. And then I pass on, my pastor passes on, and the spouse marries 20-year younger granddaughter of my pastor, and it becomes something totally different. It becomes people closing the doors and making sure nobody leaves while she berates them for not giving her any money for her birthday. This heifer literally was like telling them they you po. Don't you either you po or you're stingy, and if you're stingy, you po anyway. God said you was po, is what she said. This on a Sunday morning, honey. That doggone Mary. Yeah, but these people are really upset that she's tarnished them. She started her church in her house. After she had gotten to Salt Lake City, Utah, she started her church in her house, and people would come by, and the service would be so loud, they would peek in, and most would enjoy it or fall in love with it so much, that's how they became part of her congregation. That's organic. Turns out Mama was a smart businesswoman. It seems that when she got to Salt Lake City, only 1% of the population was black, and they were very underserved. So she started to kind of maintain her church. Instead of asking other people for money, she started opening these businesses and selling food. And my camera keeps cutting off. But yeah, she opened businesses, and I guess that's how once Mary and her new husband took over, they had businesses to come with them, things that Mama opened. They had money to kind of be able to do some of the things they've done to make even more money with the help of now a cult-like environment. These people give up everything for nothing, let alone a meal. Apparently after Mama died, Robert Cosby adopted Sam, Demetrius, and Mary, siblings, and they all thought that he was their dad. Mary was only 2 years old when Mama married Robert, which was 20 years her junior. And when she passed away, he adopted the three of them because they were minors and turned on Mary. And they showed a clip of Mary and he on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City talking when Mary called it an arranged marriage. Um, one of the uh, one of the brothers, I think it's Demetrius, by the way he looks. One of the brothers said that he knows him and that he was angry when she said that, and that that's why he said um, that Mama told him that when she is no longer with him, had exited here, that he wants her to marry one of her daughters to take care of him. And he said it in a way that this man, which he would know as his father, was aggressive. You know, everybody has their baseline of what their regular personality is. And you notice in your mother, brother, sister, aunt, well, whomever, if they're agitated, and he says that Robert was definitely agitated on that in that scene. It may not have come across to everybody, but he could see it. He said the man was controlling, and who knows? This man may. But one lady, one of the longest members of the congregation, says that Robert may have been faking it, but if he was good at it because she believed, and it really seemed that he really loved Mama, and he may have. A lot of times with pastors, they have that type of draw with the opposite sex. And they become somewhat of an idol, or someone that you really revere, and it's possible he did love her, but not necessarily saying he was attracted to her in that way, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So whomever is like, all that stuff was boring, I've seen it before. I mean, cool, everybody got is going to give their own rating on this show, but I don't know, things kind of make me think a little deeper when I hear certain specifics. The brother just said when he was adopting him, he was terrified of, well, he didn't say he's terrified of him, he said literally, I hated him. Then they showed a clip, he said, you can see my brother kind of hold me back because I was terrified. Them kids probably went through hell. Mary's first cousin is talking about how Robert would make them do physical therapy, and not physical therapy, PT, physical exercise, and to the point where it literally came abusive. Got like little Joe Jackson Jr. in his system, apparently, because he really pushed them, apparently, I guess to make them better, but just didn't have the qualifications to do so, because instead of them turning out appreciative and thankful, they hate the sneaker. Apparently, Mama didn't know about these little exercise routines that Robert and some of the other elders were making these young boys do. They were former military, and they would have them hold up books stretched out on both arms, and they would often put down pins, they said, which kind of look like nails to me. I guess sticking up so that whatever they were doing, so if their knee hit it, resist all you can, because if your knee hit it, you're gonna be effed up, And another time he talked about one boy couldn't do a push-up, so one of the men went over and kicked him. And yeah, they said they never told Mama about it because they considered it, taking it for the team. But apparently she didn't know about that. So, I mean, the man is literally crying, recalling the story. I've seen him a number of times. That's Mary's first cousin. I've seen him a number of times on different YouTubers' pages and things like that. And I think I seen him being interviewed on a bigger platform on TV once before as well. But he was getting a book or something together, or something was going on where he couldn't tell everything, but that he was working on, I guess, kind of exposing her. I don't know, but he was working on something.
She said, y'all go downstairs.
Well, apparently Mama found out because one of the kids squealed on him, and Mama called Robert on him, and he said they just exaggerating. Mama said those meetings will no longer be taking place. Mama stayed with Robert despite the abuse allegations. Now they're calling Mary out on the lies that she tells on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. She told them that she she wasn't poor. When they showed the clip of the girl sharing a story with Mary that she had hard times as well. She said, we were poor as well, after Mary had commented that they had hard times, that she had 5 siblings. And Mary didn't like the lady anyway, but she just wanted to give some pushback and said, I didn't say I was poor. Well, they were poor. The sister confirms they were poor. They were always struggling for money when they were growing up. And the grandmother eventually adopted Mary. It's alleged that Mary was a little thought out here in these streets when she was younger. They say she was pretty much a little troublemaker. And they were always Mama was always having trouble with Mary. And Mary liked the dudes with the fit, with the money, with the cars, with the jewelry, with the, that money on, honey. She wanted the fast life. Childhood friend sums Mary up as a fire starter. He said it was always something going on with Mary. She caused trouble everywhere she went. She was always looking to start some SHIT with somebody. And people didn't like Mary because she was mean. People didn't like her. But she liked them boys. And she didn't go to school. The reason why sometimes I guess she comes off a little kooky sometimes is because she's not very smart. The heifer didn't go to school. They're exposing this heifer, and I'm so happy about it. I guess I should stay impartial if I want to do these things, these reviews. But man, I'm so glad they're finally showing her for what she is, because I can't stand a manipulator, and they called her that too. So no allege there. And I think she's a narcissist, and I think that she is about to start reaping what she sowed. Coming out of 2025, you know what old dude said, that everything will be revealed. Well, it was a couple of days late, but we're here. Mama passed away at 65, and they say that Mary did really feel genuine hurt, especially because she was still excommunicated. So Mary took it really hard at the funeral. So I guess that's one positive thing that's came out of that she does have some empathy.
He never got to see himself as an equal until my grandmother left, and then he didn't know what to do. That's where Mary got into the picture.
I thought that the story was that your grandmother, before she died, said she wanted your current husband, your then grandfather, to marry you to replace her.
So basically, Robert Sr. was 20 years younger than my grandmother. Okay. My grandmother felt like she robbed his youth. And so she says, if something ever happens, I want you to marry one of my girls, because I know they'll be loyal to you and treat you good like you treated me.
I get Mary may have fans out there and supporters that don't see anything wrong with marrying someone 20 years your senior. But let's be for real. Mary gets on here and judges everybody. But it's okay that she married her grandmother's widow, 20 years her senior. And she tries to justify that as not being anything other than creepy. Okay. Miss Mary was married before she married Grandpa.
Suzanne from Detroit, Michigan said, Mary, there are rumors online that say you were allegedly married before marrying your step-grandfather. Is there any truth to this?
Yes.
Did you leave your husband to marry your step-granddaddy?
No, I did not leave my husband. No.
In the reunion show, when Mary's asked about her first marriage, she gets flustered when pressed about the timeline of when that marriage ended and when she started things up with Robert.
She did.
He never got to see himself as an equal until my grandmother left, and then he didn't know what to do. That's where Mary got into the picture.
I thought that the story was that your grandmother, before she died, said she wanted your current husband, your then grandfather, to marry you to replace her.
So basically, Robert Sr. was 20 years younger than my grandmother. Okay. My grandmother felt like she robbed his youth. And so she says, if something ever happens, I want you to marry one of my girls, because I know they'll be loyal to you and treat you good like you treated me. Because we just got divorced for irreconcilable differences. Just put it that way, Andy. It had nothing to do with Robert Sr. Nothing.
Mary isn't being entirely truthful about the timeline of her divorce and her marriage to Robert.
Ozzy Casares, Mary's mother, came in and got up in the pulpit.
They had been trying to convince my mom that Mary and my gramps were supposed to get married, and my mom wasn't having it.
None of you didn't call and ask my side of the story. You went against me because you got something in your heart in there. She's supposed to bring in the choir so that they can sing, but they came in like it was a war zone.
Wow.
And she stood there and she pounded and stomped and held the mic. This church is coming down.
She had a group with her.
I found that she got a divorce from her first husband September 8th of 1998. A new marriage certificate was issued to Mary and Robert September 27th of 1998. So 19 days later, after she's granted her divorce, she marries Robert. The timeline shows there was some crossover happening. Mary's not telling the full story about what happened.
Well, part 2 goes off with Mary pretty much starting her role as a leader over the church now, and as the role Mama once had as Mama. She said, if you know Mama, then you know God. And if you know that, then you know Mama is me. She just straight up snatched the lady's body. Well, no, not the body, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Body snatchers up in here. Wow. This is really blowing my mind, honestly. You know, it is a lot of stuff that I've seen before, but when you hear it straight from people's mouths, it's just different. You know what I mean? Before, you had to give some hint of doubt, because everything's alleged. But all of these people that were literally in the church, some of these people are blood family members. Yeah, it comes off a little different. And there are some things that you learn in this documentary that I hadn't heard before. And I'm telling you, I'm a reality show buff, so I watch and hear a lot of this stuff that's going on. There's a few things in here that I had not heard before that I was shocked about. So please go and watch it if you are interested in just in watching the full thing and not just the little things that I share here. But if you're interested in watching my review of part 3, please subscribe. Like the video so I'll get up all in the algorithms and you won't miss it. And yeah, we'll become friends. Anyway, y'all have a good day and love ya.